Hey y'all, Nova here. Today I wanted to do a post-patch review of Marauders after the health patch, see what I think they did well, what they didn't with the last patch, and what they can bring to Marauders in the future to make it a better game. So going through the patch notes, starting with the wobbly pistol, I think it's pretty fun to use. It has a really loud sound, but for what it is, for how much recoil it is, I don't think it has enough damage. It feels really hard to use, and if you're going against someone who has like full armor, then it's really hard to kill them. And the problem is most of the people that you're going against right now are fully kitted. And also the thing is, it's really not that hard to get fully kitted. Even like if it was the beginning of a wipe, I feel like the wobbly pistol just needs some sort of buff. It isn't very useful right now. The EM2 battle rifle is in a middle spot. I really enjoy using it. It feels like it can absolutely melt people. The only downside to it is it only has a 20 round mag, so it really feels like the STG is just the king when it comes to all of the guns in the game right now. But the EM2, if it had an extended mag like up to 30 rounds, it may like be a close contender for the best rifle in the game. Next, they added the depots on Navy Outpost and Penal Colony. I think that was a good addition. They made it so that there were more reasons to go to Navy Outpost and Penal Colony, so good changes there. They added Sten attachments. Now, I love more attachments, but the problem is the Sten still just sucks. It needs some sort of buff or something, because especially with like how expensive it is to buy all of the different attachments for it, it doesn't make a difference. You just can't melt people. It doesn't do enough damage, or it doesn't have a fast enough fire rate. It needs some sort of buff to make it viable for use. With like, even especially with the buffs to armor and then the other nerfs to SMGs, the attachments to the Sten didn't help at all. It's just a shit gun right now. I do hope that they add more attachments to the other guns in the future. That would just make the game more different each time. So next, they added additional daily contracts. I think that was a great change. They added some daily contracts on other maps such as Penal Colony and Naval Colony. So those are good changes there. The map cycling seems to be a little bit better. It's still not the best. I think they could dial it up a notch. I still get the same map like too many times in a row, and sometimes it just feels impossible to get the map that you want. So I think they need to make the map cycling even a little bit more. I think that most of the balancing is pretty good. It does seem like the capital ship and merchant ship spawn a lot more, which is great. They could even maybe dial the capital ship spawning down. I got like 4 raids in a row last time I was playing, so maybe it doesn't need to be dialed up that high, because it doesn't even feel rare anymore. Sometimes I just won't even go. Or maybe they just need to like increase the loot on it a little bit and then decrease the spawn rate. Something like that. I'm not sure. It just feels like it spawns too much now, but it is nice. It's in a good spot, so maybe they just should leave it. I don't know about how they made everything, like all of the attachments cost like a toolkit and also fabric. Feels like it's a lot harder to craft attachments, and what I feel like this has done is instead of people using toolkits to craft those, because it takes a lot of toolkits to craft their containers, and that's usually what they use them on, people just aren't crafting the attachments, and they're just using rifles that don't need attachments, such as like the STG or the EM2 or the M16. All of those really don't need attachments, or their attachments are really easy to craft. So it really feels like SMGs are just hardly used at all right now, especially because they were nerfed on top of nerfing their attachments. So SMGs, they nerfed them into the ground too hard. I think they either need to like reduce like what it costs to craft their attachments, or they need to like make them stronger at closer range, something like that, because there still needs to be a reason to use the like long range rifles, but SMGs just absolutely feel like dirt right now. And I mean, the Uzi feels like viable when it's fully kitted, but it's just really expensive to fully kit it because it costs like 2 more of the toolkits per Uzi, which is like sort of crazy actually. I mean, it would be okay if like maybe they made it so that like you use one toolkit and you're able to craft 2 things or 3 things, like they have durability, stuff like that. I don't know. The SVT, I honestly think they nerfed the SVT a little bit too much. It really feels hard to, like, you can't one-tap headshot people anymore with a rifle, and I think that a rifle of that caliber, same with like the Johnson, I think they both should be able to head tap even people who have the best helmet in the game, just because headshots are hard to go. It's a skill thing, and they should never nerf people who are like using skill to be better than other people. The mission, like when they reduced the top brass mission requirements and also made it so that commando majors spawn on all maps, that was a great change. It's so much easier to do that mission now. And I don't know if they fixed the trench gun mission, like where you can just hold a trench gun in your inventory and kill the commandos with like something else, but if they haven't, then I'm sure it's still a lot easier to, or if they have, I'm sure it's a lot easier to get those kills with the trench gun, just because commandos are found on maps everywhere now. They really did nerf jumping, like jump shots. When you like jump around a corner and try to shoot someone, it's absolutely nerfed into the ground. It's still doable, but it is really, really hard to get your like crosshair on point unless you're hard pre-aiming where you think they are. You just cannot move your crosshair when you're in the air now. I'm sort of, I don't know, in the middle on this issue. Some people really hate jump shots. I thought they were useful in some situations. If someone's like hard holding an angle, it's basically impossible to push them because there's no utility in this game. We don't have smokes, we don't have flashes. There's no way to push them. They're just going to kill you. Even with Peeker's advantage, holding angles is still really, really strong. So they need to add something to make it so you can push people, because right now there's literally, you can't push anyone if they're holding an angle and they know what they're doing. So I don't know, the jump shot like was a way of doing that, and now it's nerfed, so they need to add something else so that you still can, you know, actually push someone. Otherwise it's just gonna become a camp fest where people are just sitting behind walls taking pot shots at each other and nothing really ever happens, and that's not really an interesting game, and I don't really find that fun. They did buff the radio backpack. I'm going to say it feels amazing now. I love that there's 2 gigantic backpacks that we can use instead of just a barrel bag. Also, radio backpacks don't seem to be that rare, which is really nice. You can find them in vaults and basically all over the map. The M50 rifle feels really good. If you haven't used it yet, try using it. They reduce the recoil on it, and it feels really good this round. Again, rifles, they don't need many attachments, and the attachments don't cost toolkits to use, so I'd suggest using the M50 rifle, the STG. All of those feel like some of the best guns in the game. M16, EM2. Those, I'd say those are the best guns, like with the STG probably on top of all of those as the best gun in the game, period. It just melts people so fast, even if they're in full level 12 armor. And that's about it. Let me know like how you're enjoying the patch in the comments below. I just sort of wanted to go through a review and go back and see how I feel about the changes after having played them for a while. I know I did a video over them when they came out, but you know, it's good to come back and review and see like whether you like the changes after playing with them for a while. So that's about it. I do think that it's crashing a lot less than it was. It feels a lot better, not crashing like 24/7. So that's good. I haven't gotten a crash actually since the update. So I'm sure some people have, but it's definitely feeling better. The optimization feels a lot better as well. I'm getting more frames, I think, since the update. And yeah, PvP feels great. The maps are feeling full of people. I'm not really having it. I haven't had a single hacker actually since the update, now that I think about it. I'm sure there are hackers and all that, but yeah, it's been great. I've been having a lot of fun. If you haven't yet, I mean, seriously, go try out Marauders. It's $30, which is, you know, maybe expensive for an early access title, so maybe try to get it on sale, but I would highly suggest picking it up. I think it's in a great place right now. There's a good player base that doesn't seem to be falling too quick. I think they need to do some marketing with their next update though, because the player base is like 1,200 something usually at peak hours, and that's pretty bad, especially for a game like this. They need to do some marketing, get some more people in, maybe have some, I don't think paying streamers really gets more people to play your game. That's sort of the conclusion I've come to, because a lot of games that have like failed over the years have paid a lot of streamers to do marketing, and I feel like it just doesn't bring people to the game. The people just watch the streamers, but they don't buy it themselves. So maybe some like other form of advertisement. That's not really my strong point, but they need more players for sure. It's not dead or anything, but it could go that way if like they made a mistake and people stop playing, and I could see this game dying if they don't advertise it and make it so people know about it. So yeah, I think that's pretty about it. If you enjoy this video and you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing. It really helps me out. I'm so close to 500. I'm so excited for that. And yeah, I'll probably have some sort of like 500 subscriber special in the works. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Good luck on your raids this week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.